around. It's just been 8 years when Nigerians received the first national identity card during the
Do you mean since?
Yes, it's been 8 years.
Since,
yes. Since we had it, former President Olusegun Obasanjo was in government then. But now, just last week, President Goodluck Jonathan, launched the National Identity Card Project with the directive that all eligible Nigerians should be registered by the National Identity Management Committee, NIMC, as they are called. National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, by December 2014. So we've got how many months to go? 12 plus 3 will make about 15 months from now. 14.
Because October has come to an end.
October has come to an end, pretty much, yes. So we've got about 14 months to go. Now, what does Nigerians need to understand? What do Nigerians need to understand about this? What is going to be happening, and what are the thoughts about this initiative by the federal government? We have in the studio, we've got Ada Agina Ude, a human rights activist. Good morning, madam. Welcome to Sunrise this morning. And on the other side, someone who runs an NGO, Bolaji Ajimoto-Kon, who's a public affairs analyst as well. Good morning.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Let me start with Ada Agina Ude. What's your take on this new national identity card? What's your thought about it?
The first thing is that it is good for a country to be enumerated because it has a lot of advantages. Many of our development programs, problems in Nigeria are caused by lack of enumeration.
But we do have census.
So it's a wonderful idea.
We have census.
Well, besides census, there are other forms of enumeration, of which national identity card is one. But then the question is, how many times are we going to have identity card registration before we get it right? In fact, in the right sense, we only seem to be over-enumerated. Over-enumerated.
And still we don't know the numbers.
Yet we don't know the numbers. We can't identify ourselves. And we have spent so much doing this that it's mind-boggling.
Okay, now, what is your own thought before we dig into the issue of how much we have spent on it over the years? What's your own thought? You think this is a right move in the right direction, or it's something that we should not even venture into?
Yeah, thank you very much. As she said, it's a good idea, but vis-a-vis the resources we have in Nigeria as a country and the fact that we've done the same thing before, we need to establish why do we need to have a national ID card management system at this point. And also, we also have National Population Commission at this point. I agree that there is a huge need for us to have a unique identifier each individual should have, like what you call the NI number in UK or Social Security number in the United States. It's very important, yeah. But in our own clime, we need to establish the need, the exact need for it. The government needs to come out and tell us the need for this National Identification Management Commission, because we've done it before. What happened to that? Why is the database, where are the records at that point? Instead of us trying all over again, national ID, we all run to the states to get national ID. Resources are committed to it. I think the first thing the government should address is tell us why we need and they want us to go through this process of having national identification.
From the statement of the president thus far, do you get any understanding in terms of the consistency for the future for this? Because when you do a national identity card, at what age will somebody be eligible to get it? And then will that include the babies that are just being born? And if you don't count the babies that are being born, how does that work in terms of long haul? Because you mentioned, the reason I'm asking that is you mentioned the system that works in the United Kingdom. your NI card. The US have their social security. From the moment you're given birth to,
Get a number.
you have a number.
Yes.
And that means the number is counting.
That's why I said that the government needs to establish the reason and a clear-cut, a precise reason for the need of the national identity. That needs to be established. Why we need to have it should come from the government.
Okay.
We need to start from that. That should be the basis.
So, Madam, if you were to look at this, do you think this is a duplication or is there an essence? Because if we've had it before and it's not worked and it's not a case of it's been said to have been scrapped, and yet we're bringing on another initiative of another president in office.
Actually, duplication is an understatement. I would rather say multiplication. Because we, as you said, you rightly noted, we had this in 2006, not just 2006, I think before then we've had several. I understand that even during President Obasanjo's first coming, before he handed over to civilians in 1980, there was some kind of identity card registration which was eventually only used by the military. And I understand also that during Abubakar's regime, an attempt was also made. Some were registered, and then we had the one in 2006. And then also, in between all that, we have registered for telephone, the same process of biometric. You put your fingers, and we are going through all these electronic processes that we don't even know the eventual effect on our health. We've done that.